Hello everyone. Let's understand what is JavaScript and what is JavaScript engine. So, JavaScript is basically a high-level, dynamic, and interpreted programming language, primarily used for creating interactive and dynamic content on web pages. So, what does these three terms basically means? So, high-level basically means programming languages that are designed to be easier for humans to understand. Basically, they are very near and very similar to our human readable languages, for example, English. So, over here you can see two codes. One is a high level code and another is a low level code. So, as you can see the JavaScript code and try to understand its meaning, then you can easily identify that this code is written to add two numbers. Whereas if you try to read the assembly level code, so you won't be able to understand its purpose. But this is also written to add two numbers 5 and 10 and store them. So now move to the next term, which is dynamic. So what does the word dynamic means? So dynamic basically means that in some programming languages the variables, types and memory management are done at runtime. So basically there are two type of programming languages. One is statically typed and the other is dynamically typed. So we can understand the static as well as dynamic type programming languages with these examples. So in the first thing, we have Java, which is a static type language, and on the other hand, we have JavaScript. So in static type programming languages, we need to define the type of variable we are taking in advance. For example, over here you can see for defining the variable x, we need to tell the compiler in advance that we are going to store integer over here as we are storing integer 5, and for storing a string we need to tell in advance we are going to store a string. So whereas in dynamic programming languages we do not require to do such kind of things. Initially we have taken let to store a integer value as well as taken let to store a string value. So in dynamic programming languages, we are not required to tell any kind of data type. They are generally interpreted at the time they are executed at runtime. So I hope you guys have understood the meaning of static as well as dynamic programming language. So let's move to the last term, which is interpreted. So what does the word interpreted means? Interpreted means line by line compilation. So basically there are two type of programming languages. First is compiled and the second one is interpreted. So in compiled programming languages, the whole code is compiled and executed at once. For example, we have a code of 4 lines over here. So first the compilation is done. So all of these four lines are compiled first, and then the whole file is executed in a single go. Whereas in case of interpretation, so line by line compilation is done. Firstly, we have 4 lines over here. So firstly, the first line will get compiled and executed at the same time. And then the line 2 will get compiled and executed at the same time. So this is the difference between compilation as well as interpretation. So guys, now let's understand what is JS engine. So basically JS engine is a program or an interpreter that executes a JavaScript code. So whenever your web browser finds any JavaScript code inside the web page, it doesn't directly execute it. It just passes the JavaScript code to the JavaScript engine and JavaScript engine execute it for us. So over here we have the list of browsers as well as JavaScript engines which are mostly used. So here is the last fact that our Node.js also uses a JavaScript engine which is V8, and this is the most known fact, or this is the most important fact which every developer should know. So guys, this is the end of the video. Meet you in the next video.